Hey, sometimes it be a mental test to see where the heart at in his chest, man. You know what I'm saying? Well, abuse you. As soon as you get out the way, they act like they ain't worried about losing you. You know what I mean?
Okay. So, if you didn't catch it, this is a thinly veiled shot at the 22 stir. I was on vacation. I did have my feet kicked up. But let's talk about Bricc, baby. And in particular, the financial side of my relationship with
Yo, what's good, YouTube, man? This your boy BT Scoop TV News, and I'm back with some content that you probably could use. And if you're new to the channel, go down there, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and turn on that notification bell so you can be notified every time I upload a video. Make sure y'all hit that like button, man, to keep me in the algorithm. But today, I'm going to do this reaction to Adam22, you know what I'm saying, responding to Bricc, baby. Comments that he made when he called from the feds not too long ago, a couple of days ago. Well, y'all already know my last video about Bricc, baby. I was basically saying, like, bro, peoples ain't your homies, man, you know. But Adam22, he got something else to say. But we gonna run this video, so y'all react to it. Y'all stay engaged and get them thumbs up, man. Keep me in the algorithm. Let's go.
All right, we're back. The Adam22 channel. It's been long dormant, ignored, turned my back on it, to be totally honest. But solo content, I'm gonna be real, I haven't done it in a long time, but I feel like I got something to say. I don't always want to wait for the podcast. I don't always want Lush breathing down my neck, getting in the way of my topics. Shout out to Lush. But today, you already know what I'm going to talk about. Bricc, baby, I'm coming for you. So let me explain. I was in Turks and Caicos for approximately 1 week, and it came down the pipe while I was out there, pause, that Bricc, baby had some choice words for the 22 stir, and today we're going to be reacting to those words. So let's get right into it.
Hey, it's that big old deal, man. It's that Bricc, man. While everybody laid up with their feet up out there vacation and playing like they ain't got nothing for the kids, man. You already know we still keeping it strong. Hey, sometimes it be a mental test to see where the heart at in his chest, man. You know what I'm saying? They abuse you. As soon as you get out the way, they act like they ain't worried about losing you. You know what I mean?
Okay. So if you didn't catch it, this is a thinly veiled shot at the 22 stir.
And I told y'all, I already kind of figured when he said that, bro, he was talking about Adam22, man. He basically saying Adam22 ain't answering his phone calls. We don't know if Bricc, baby, gonna ask for money or not, but man, at least pick up my calls. You my homie. But at the same time, like I was saying, you never know what Adam22 has going on with the feds, bro.
Was on vacation. I did have my feet kicked up, but let's talk about Bricc, baby. And in particular, the financial side of my relationship with the Bricc, not the trick. When Bricc, baby, came on the platform 2 years ago, pretty quickly, the feds ran up in his crib and raided him. He needed money to get out. Now, it's been discussed at length that I fronted him an amount of money, $5,000, so that he could get out the same day that he was picked up. I know Whack 100 and a few other people have been spreading information saying that this was cap. I don't know. Honestly, the other day in the Reddit, somebody posted information saying that he really did have a bail and that was where the $5,000 went. I never really heard about it. I heard rumors in the streets that maybe this money was not required for him to be bailed out, that he didn't have a bail. But I did see these screenshots in the Reddit that make it seem as if he did have a bail. I didn't make a big deal out of it. I gave him the.
See, what's crazy though, the first thing Adam22 mentioned is money, bro. So automatically, Bricc, baby calling him, he's seeing Bricc, baby, you know what I'm saying, seeing the county jail number come across his phone. Oh man, I don't know, man. Bricc, baby probably wanting some money, man. You know, he probably wanting something. He ain't answering this call, so we don't know if it's about money or not, Adam. That's the only thing. But let him get on into it, man. Let's see what else he gonna talk about.
Money, had to get him back out on the streets. I knew that he had potential. I knew that I could take him from being a marginal figure in the LA podcasting space to being one of, if not the most talked about person in the podcasting space, which is exactly what has happened over the course of the past couple of years. Never asked him for the money back. Never asked for it. You feel me? Now, to his credit, for like 2 years after that, he did not ask me for any additional funds. So from my perspective, you know, I was just like, okay, whatever. This is part of doing business. I gave him the 5K. I'm not going to bring it up again. And over the course of those 2 years, my prediction did come true. Bricc Baby basically soared to new heights, became one of the most talked about people in the community. And as far as our relationship, I would like to think that we actually became something like friends. We got closer and closer, spent time hanging out various times, went out to a lot of different parties and stuff, basically formed a relationship that honestly was a little bit more developed than the type of relationship that I've formed with most of the hosts that No Jumper has had over the years. Fast forward to a couple months ago, Bricc Baby reaches out to me again, asks if he can borrow a couple $1,000s for, I don't know, he's like moving into a new spot or some shit like that. I said, okay. Didn't even bring up the fact that I had let him borrow this.
Okay, the first time he was saying he like, okay, he don't know if he owes the money that he had gave Bricc Baby for the bail or not, but you see the receipts and the what's the name, so we don't know if that's true or not either. But I didn't know Bricc had done asked him for another couple $1,000s to move and whatever. Adam kept that off the internet, so that's being 100. I give you that right there, Adam.
It's $5,000. I figured after 2 years, you know, whatever. So I let him borrow this additional $2,000-3,000. I forget what it was. And then very soon after that, like I'm talking like a week later, he gets picked up by the feds, right? Ever since then, there's been murmurings, people wondering, what is Adam22 going to do to help out Bricc in this situation? Now, from my perspective, I'm $7,000-8,000 in the hole in terms of money that I have let you borrow, which I'm not really the kind of person who lets people borrow money all the time. Like of everybody who's ever worked for me,
Bricc Baby don't have a bail. That's point number one. Point number two is if Bricc Baby don't have no bail, that means he can't get out. So if he can't get out, that come to point number three. Ain't no way possible, even though you haven't paid the money back from the $5,000 that Adam let you borrow earlier for bail, he turned around and gave you another $2,000 or $3,000, thinking that you will still be out working in the building. But after that $2,000 or $3,000, you get locked up in the feds. That ain't nothing but a big old circle. Now you can't get out. You stuck. You can't make him no more money. He gonna leave you there. Simple as that. Ain't no point even talking to him. That's basically what this sounded like to me.
For me, I honestly don't think I can think of a situation in which any of them have borrowed money from me. Like that's just not really the kind of relationship that I like to have with people who work for me. You know, if it is an emergency, okay, we could do something. But for the most part, it's just not really how I get down. You know, it's like I just don't, I don't like to have that kind of thing going on. I pay you for your service and you do the job and we're good. But as far as taking out loans consistently, constantly, I'm not really into it. That being said, it was only 2 times throughout our relationship so far. But I say all that to just set the stage. Then he gets locked up and people are pretty much automatically, you know, suggesting in the comments, people talking about it on podcasts, is Adam going to pay for his lawyer? Is Adam putting money on his books? Whatever. And I'm going to be real with you. For like the first month that he was locked up, he didn't ask me for shit. He didn't say anything about it, which I kind of appreciated because I feel like if I just gave you $2,000 like immediately before you got locked up, it is kind of weird for you to get locked up and then be like, hey, like, can I have even more money, especially given this prior debt? Because my thing is like, if you want to get an official verdict on how I'm willing to help you out financially, in addition to what I've done for you previously, I feel like you should be upfront about that. I've talked to Bricc on the phone a whole bunch of times since he's been locked up, including like the day before this video came out, and it was none of this energy at all. And in addition to that, we've got people like Sharp, who don't got a pot to piss in, who ain't done nothing for Bricc.
So Bricc Baby has been talking to Adam the whole time. I'm thinking, you know, they haven't conversated not once at all. Adam says that he talked to Bricc Baby right before this little video that Bricc Baby dropped came out. That's wild. Now I can't fault Adam for his stance on this situation right here. You know, normally I don't be rocking with Adam like that. I like the No Jumper podcast, that thing cool and all, but I be seeing the little inside introvert things that be going on. But all in all, Adam cool with me, but
can't do anything for anybody because he's dead broke. He's coming out making YouTube videos, doing streams where he's passing judgment on what I've done for Bricc. Keep in mind, I've had Bricc on salary for 2 years straight. Even when he was missing shows, even when he was out of town doing whatever, never fronted on him in terms of the money. Now we've got Sharp, who, Sharp has never done anything besides traffic women and be ugly. And he's out here trying to cast judgment on me. So let's play the Sharp clip.
Pretty much, if he is to get out.
Hey, Adam, that's cold right there with the STs, right? That's cold.
Or, you know what I'm saying, even hits the streets. They don't want him on that podcast at all. They want him to resign from it, like be done with it. The feds do not want him on No Jumper no longer. I'm telling you facts. This isn't what I think. No, it's what I know.
So if this is true, this is the first and only source that I've heard from that has specified this in any way. Do I have concerns about Bricc Baby returning to the platform? Yes, obviously that would be kind of interesting, and I would wonder about the level of heat that it would draw to the building. Obviously, things like that they saw in his waistline that I didn't see and that I don't think the comments saw, but that was pointed out in his bail hearing that he had a strap on him. That kind of thing is the kind of thing that I would want to really be on point with. But the idea that the feds or the cops have told Bricc that he's no longer allowed to be on No Jumper, this is a Sharp narrative as of this point. Like, I have absolutely no idea if this is a real thing or not, but it does seem kind of odd if this is something that Bricc told Sharp and didn't tell me or anybody else from No Jumper. I mean, keep in mind, Bricc and Sharp have had a weird relationship over the years, because when we fell out with Sharp, Bricc talked about him on the platform and then basically continued to be friends with him to some extent, which I always thought was a little strange. But either way, I mean, to me, this is just a completely invented Sharp narrative as far as I know. It's kind of odd that he would know about this and I wouldn't know about this. But let's keep going.
To a lot of you, because it went to prove, because everybody was screaming, oh, they're going to be out on Wednesday. No, they're not. I knew it when it came to the bail hearing and how things play. Like, that they're just giving them that. Now you got to appeal it. And then, to hear, when he was calling, Adam, he ain't answering, or whatever the case may be. He's calling people and they not picking up. Now they're avoiding him. Why is that? Boy, why aren't you answering Bricc calls?
Another Cap Sharp narrative. I have not been ducking any phone calls. And keep in mind that his baby mama has been in communication with me, talking to me, telling me what time Bricc was going to call and everything. But every time that I got on the phone with Bricc, it's been like 2 or 3 minutes of conversation, and then he gets kicked off because I guess he's only allowed to be on the phone for 10 minutes at a time.
See, the whole time, Adam has been in communication with Bricc Baby, just like me, Sharp, and everybody else thought differently. You know what I mean? Because Adam22 is not putting the information out there. He keeping that between him and his homie. I salute you for that.
Never at any point until I was in Turks and Caicos, like right before that other video clip came out, did Bricc even utter something that mentioned or inferred that he thought that he should be getting in any way some money from us. So to me, I'm gonna be real with you, I just feel like this is some, no offense, Bricc, I don't really want to use the word when it comes to you or anything, but how are you going to be out here communicating like this to Sharp and not having the nuts to say it to me? And in addition to that, I mean, let's be real about the relationship between an employer and a worker. If Bricc had asked me in the beginning, Adam, if I get locked up, will you bail me out? Will you pay for my lawyer, etc.? My response early on probably would have been like, no. Like, I would prefer to not take our relationship to that extent. Like, that's just not something I really go into business with someone being prepared to do. It does leave a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth to realize that Bricc is comfortable having conversations about me to Sharp, but won't have that same conversation to me. Like, if you want to borrow.
One thing I will say, I do feel like Bricc Baby do is a whole lot of talking behind people's back. The phone call he had this in DW Flame neighborhood was crazy, but that was after DW Flame had did what he had done to Bricc Baby.
Money, you can ask me. I was actually kind of looking forward to him asking me so I could have a conversation with him about the fact that he's already in a pretty significant amount of debt to me, but that conversation never came. And then in addition to that, I heard it through the grapevine that Bricc basically thought that he was going to keep getting paid, that even though he's locked up and he's not able to contribute to the business by being on camera, that he thought that he was just so locked in that he was going to keep getting his monthly pay each month. I'm sorry. I know you guys all saw the No Jumper is Going Broke video. We are not in the best financial state right now. Me paying someone to be in federal prison doesn't really seem realistic.
Y'all been making content about them for the last 2 weeks. Why is it that he ain't received a paycheck? And motherfuckers is making money off of what he been doing. And I'm hearing that, you know, from reliable sources, his people, you know, didn't reach.
It seems like to me, Sharp is being Bricc Baby's voice right now. But I feel Adam on that too. Ain't no way I'm about to be sitting here paying you and you already down seven racks to me. I'm not about to be paying you to be in prison, bro, in federal custody, just like Adam22 has said. But Sharp, I guess he's stepping up to the bat. You know what I'm saying? Bricc Baby feel like he should still be getting paid because he on the contract. Well, if he was to call and ask Adam, like he said, for some bread, maybe, you know what I'm saying, Adam would look out for him, even though he owes Adam 7 bands.
Out about it, and you know they're not getting no feedback on it, no response. I mean, they did have a life before he went to jail, homie. Like I said, that's what happens at jobs. Like, you don't get his money, and missing out on some bands because he ain't there. Come on, brother, that ain't cool. You're supposed to make sure that he got it. His baby mama or nobody like ain't received nothing. Like just even the money that he's owed legitimately for what, you know, the work that he's.
Well, I'm gonna end that right there on that note because I think the rest of this video is gonna be about him talking to Sharp. Well, my take of this right here is, be real with y'all, I don't feel like Adam22 is wrong in this situation. You know, he keeping it real. Everybody was thinking, you know what I'm saying, he not in conversation with Bricc Baby the whole time. He has been in conversation with him. He just haven't had no internet conversation like the rest of the people has. And he's saying that Bricc Baby has not asked for a dime from him. Then he make a video shooting shots at Adam. Man, y'all leave y'all thoughts in the comment section, man. Y'all let me know, who do y'all think is wrong in this situation? Do y'all think Adam22 is wrong, you know what I'm saying, for not evidently just giving Bricc Baby money? Or do y'all think Bricc Baby wrong for not even asking or mentioning the money he owed, then went to go talk to Sharp? Well, y'all leave y'all thoughts in the comment section. And don't forget to like this video. This your boy BT Scoop, and I'm out.